Communication is the key to any relationship, so the last thing you want to do is fail. And here to break down the do's and don'ts of effective communication in your relationship is matchmaker and dating coach Katy Clark. Good morning.
Good morning.
So glad to have you here again.
Always love it.
Okay, so tell me, why is communication so essential in our relationships, whether they're new or old?
Well, I think it really boils down to respect. It's how much you respect somebody and their feelings and their time. And so it kind of weaves into that relationship avenue of, am I being loved correctly? And I want to be respected either way.
All right, well, let's break it down this morning because a lot of people meet nowadays on those apps. So what is maybe the correct way? I know we feel the same way about the apps. What is the correct way to communicate through social media?
I love the apps. I mean, the numbers game is great on there, but the problem with the apps is that people put very low effort in. And so with that, people feel disconnected. Even in a 300-word bio, they're very boring.
Yeah.
So one of the things you can do is make it memorable. So instead of, I like red wine and sunsets, you could say, I like a bottle of Chateau Montelena at Laguna Beach.
Okay, be specific.
Be very detailed in who you are.
I love it. Okay, so what about when you say hi to the person for the first time? Because that's kind of like the first impression after the bio.
This is the don't. Do not just say hi or hey. I mean, people get that all the time. Instead, look through their bio, actually read it. I mean, 300 words are not a lot to read. And find something, either from a photo as well, that you can talk about. Hey, I saw that you went to Cuba. How was it?
I love that.
Always start with a question.
Okay, so inquiring, make them want to respond to you, stand out a little bit. There we go. Okay, so in the early stages of a relationship, you're still getting to know one another, and it's really important. I think everybody talks about love languages, but talking about your communication love language, right?
Absolutely. Everybody has a way they communicate best. Some people are too busy with work all day. They don't want to be texting. Some people don't love memes. Some people love getting on the phone, like old school. So you always have to ask, what is your preferred way that I communicate with you?
Which is a hard conversation sometimes because of the simple fact that some people are like, why didn't you text me back all day? You know what I mean? But you have to realize, like, I have a life too.
Yeah, cut to the chase, find out the way that they prefer it, and just go with that.
There's nothing wrong with asking, right?
Nothing.
We can't mind read. That's not the way we want to go. Okay, so before you go on that first date, it's kind of nerve-wracking that day, right? And so you're like, how should I communicate with them, especially leading up to that date? And my thing, especially for me, is check in with me to make sure that we are still going on the date, right?
100%. I can't say this enough. Men, and it's on the job of the men, that they must check in at least 24 hours, 12 hours before the date. Hey, Erin, looking so forward to seeing you tonight. If you have any issues, let me know. Here's the address. Super clarify what the details are. But ladies, if a man has not done that, call him out. Don't waste your time waiting around all day. Oh no, are we going out?
Should I get ready? Should I not?
And it's a waste of your time. It's disrespectful to you. So you know what? Send the text and say, hey, what's the plan?
There is no faster way to lose a woman, let me just tell you, than having her get ready. And then you're not responding to the text message. Listen, it is a wrap after that. Okay, so in-person communication, especially on that first date, it can be a little challenging. And so you say to actually be a challenge.
Well, I like it when people kind of have a little competitive edge in their discussions. I mean, guys love it when a woman is like, well, I bet you I can eat my steak faster than you. Something like that, right? Or I know a little bit more about whiskey than you. I mean, people like that fun, flirty behavior. So in communicating, try to find something you can compete about.
Okay, I like that. I like that. What about, because I know a lot of people like to bring up the hard stuff. And so when we say hard stuff, do you mean as far as like negative things in our life, or do you mean hard stuff as like, this is what I like, and listen, we should talk about this now?
Now, well, I call that dating with limitations. It's kind of what I'm speaking to. Maybe you have an STD. Maybe you take full-time care of your parents, and that's going to limit the way that you date. So in that discussion, I wouldn't bring it up on a first date. None of those things, or like, are you ready to get married tomorrow? That is not to be brought up. First, you have to find out, do you even like the person? Are they fun to be with? Are you fun around them? So just hold that until a third date, because by a third date, you should kind of know if you want to pursue that person or be pursued by that person. And it honors their time to tell them those straight answers, and then to decide if you're going to move forward after a third date.
Take your time. There is no rush whatsoever. But you do say to kind of foreshadow your intentions, okay? You want to have them have something to look forward to.
Right. So if you're on a great date, and if you're a lady and you're like, this is so much fun, I'd probably want a second date with you. Men would love that. They don't read your mind as well. And so a little foreshadowing, or even if the guy says the reverse, this is so fun, I think I'm gonna have to take you out again.
I like it. There you go. Be clear, okay? We're not jumping hurdles here. I do want to ask you quickly, for someone who has maybe been in a relationship for a while, maybe they've been married 25 years and they've gotten complacent, what would you say to them as far as their communication styles if they're still maybe working on it? Because I feel like we're constantly evolving.
We are, but it is hard when you're around someone 24/7. You kind of feel like you know them already. Right now, if you just Google great questions to ask my spouse, deeper questions to understand my partner, there's so many, like 100 questions to ask that you maybe never thought about asking. So give it a try.
Oh my gosh, I love your knowledge. Every time you come on the show, I'm like, I'm gonna be using that for myself. So if you guys need a little dating help, Dating with Katy, that's your girl right there. I love it. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.